Good morning. Hello. Um, Today is the morning stream is a bit shorter today. Um, One of the reasons for that is the fact that I extremely overslept, and the other fact is that I wanted to kind of reflect on the project and my development and stuff like that a bit. And um, maybe have a look at what I can do better and stuff like that. And maybe find ways to get more structure into it. And yeah, let's start with the village here. The thing is, I spent a lot of time creating procedural houses, which I'm not using anymore. Which is, I'm not sure why I did that, to be honest. Um, because changing those is a bit easier with the procedural stuff I created. And another thing is that as a result, I have a lot of inconsistency in the world. And while I'm doing complete other stuff like AI and so, I always see these buildings here that I want to change, and this building that is not even half done, which means I need to think about what I want to do here and kind of take a step back and plan out a bit more what these buildings would look like, and then execute that plan. Because streams so far were a bit chaotic. I mean, if you watched some of them, you know that they were quite chaotic, and I didn't have a clue what I wanted to do on most of them. So, I kind of want to change that, because when I started out this project, I had better idea of what I wanted to do each day, and um, more focused on that aspect, and had that in the title as well. So no, the webcam is quite old, but I didn't like to be on cam. That's kind of the problem. And thank you for the hosts, even though they were all auto hosts, but thank you anyway. Um, I don't like being on cam, but for this thing, that since I'm not doing anything but more explaining the whole plan and kind of how to bring it together, I wanted to add the webcam, because I'm doing a lot of stuff with my hands while talking and no one is seeing it. So that's something I need to figure out, if I want to have the webcam there, or if I don't want to have it there. Because to be honest, I don't like being on camera. But for this stream now, I thought it might be a bit better to have the camera there. Um, The thing is, I need to focus a bit more on aspects of the game that I want to finish and then really finish them, not just do them halfway and then leave them the way they are. Like this structure here is... I started that at some point, then I waited for the castle update to finish it, then I noticed, okay, I can't finish it with the assets I have there. Then I started building my own assets, and this is still a complete construction yard. Empty framework, basically empty frame here. And this house here as well. Even though I'm thinking of maybe using the blueprint again, which is also a bit strange, because kind of didn't use it because I thought it was causing a lot of trouble for the project, but in the end it turned out it wasn't the blueprint, it was the nav mesh that caused my loading issues and slowdowns and stuff like that. Another point is that I want to do a lot of different things at basically the same time, or in a short period of time, and I sometimes don't know anything about the aspect I want to do. And kind of slows down everything because I try to figure out stuff, need people to help me, or basically do the work for me, which is something I don't really like. I think it's cool of those persons to help me, but it's something that shouldn't really happen. I should be a bit more prepared and look into stuff. If I have problems, help is no problem. It's not a thing. It's okay if someone helps me, but most of the time I'm starting out doing stuff and have not the slightest clue what I'm doing. I mean, that's part of game development, but when I'm streaming, I don't want to watch tutorials. And most of the tutorials for specific aspects are video tutorials. And that's kind of problem in some ways, so that I can not really work on it until I put a bit of research time into it. And or I rely too much on people who know about that and tell me what to do, basically. And in both cases, it's complete chaos. And I sometimes still don't know what I'm doing. I mean, that's constant in game development, that you don't know what you're doing, but that's part of the fun. But a bit more structure would be better. So I'm trying to plan ahead and kind of finish off aspects of the game that I want to do. For instance, the next thing would be not continuing on the AI, but finishing the town layout, houses and stuff like that, so that that's at least the optical aspect is consistent. Because I'm still using asset pack stuff mixed with my own stuff. Problem is they don't really mix well together, and it's not really causing problems, but it looks a bit strange. Another aspect is that while I was thinking about how to finish off the village, I noticed, these houses are nice, yeah. I can put beds down here, but they're not really functional houses. So I need to rethink the layout inside and maybe make them bigger and work on that. I think that's the focus for the next few days, for this week, maybe. Even though I'm not sure how much I will do this week. That's another aspect. I need a bit of time off. It's not that I'm burned out or anything like that. It's just that I think too much of this project and need to clear my head sometimes. So I was also thinking of maybe taking a few days off, or maybe changing my schedule, because I noticed in the last few weeks that I was kind of slacking on my schedule. Not just that I overslept, but that there was only one stream per day, and I had planned two and stuff like that. So I need to figure out a better schedule for myself that works. So there might be a few changes in the future in that regard. Yeah, what else? The characters, as far as I have coordinated that with my brother, I need to use more placeholder characters, because he's working on a character system, but it takes a bit longer than he anticipated, which means that I need to create more individual characters in Fuse and use them as placeholders in here, which would also help kind of the vision of the game. Vision of the game is another point I need to think about, because that's something he asked me a lot. What's the end product will look like? And most of my answers are I don't know, because I really don't know yet, because I'm still working on it and haven't really figured out the visuals yet. I always lean towards the way it is at the moment, but to make it look good, I need to have um, the models I create be the same standard as the rest of the models, and in some cases that just doesn't work. So, because I'm not an artist, I'm just a game designer trying to do some art sometime, and if you look at the roofs, they look horrible. And one of the aspects here is that the UVs are not consistent enough, and I need to figure out a better way to do that, or take a step back and tune down the graphical fidelity, basically. And maybe use flat colors and try it that way. It would take away a lot of fine detail, but I'm not sure if that fine detail is needed. Oh, and I need to work on this area here as well, because I started that at some point and never really finished it. So the thing is, I will focus more on visual stuff, get that to a point where I can say, okay, looks good, looks consistent enough, now we can do other stuff to it, add to it, change kind of the look and stuff like that. It also gives me time to do research in breaks and on weekends for stuff that I need later. Even though I'm kind of slacking on that as well. But I just need to write down what I was doing and what kind of research I need to do, and then do it, to be honest. Yeah. Okay. That's the rent. Let's see, where do we start? I think I will start with these houses here. No, let's start with this thing. At the moment, I'm using an actor, and all these parts here. Let's see. I'm thinking if I want to use my blueprint for this, because I created that blueprint and I'm completely not using it. I spent, I don't know, 1 or 2 weeks on it, and I completely threw it out because I thought it was causing problems, but it wasn't the blueprint. So we could try to use the blueprint here. So let's have a look. Okay, here we have this warehouse. Okay, we have, let's move this over here. Okay, let's see, we have two floors. And in Y we have 5. And in X 8. Yeah. And then let's see. Let's hide that part. So this is Fancy Town. Okay, next thing is also Fancy Town. It's just one wall. And west. That wall is a window. And there's a floor piece here. And then we have another outside wall. To get that corner here. Okay, for some reason the piece here is not set up correctly. And we still need to look for a better way to get the kind of what's the right word? Irregularity to these walls, because at the moment I'm just using kind of twisted version of the walls, but it doesn't tile very well, and corner pieces are a bit of a problem. In this case, the corner type is empty because we don't want any walls here. Same for the next one here. But we want to kind of a roof piece. So this would be 1 in X, so we need this to be Fancy Town. And that's one wall. And we need a floor. So the next thing is in here, which is empty. This would be x1, y1. And this is house and one wall. And in this case it's also the chat, which I need to fix the texture for, or the material, because as far as I know we have a proper material for that. Yep, here it is. So let's see. Hello, how are you? All farm instance, all shed instance. So let's have a look at that. Oh, I know what's going on here. I don't have the proper material for that yet. Yeah, it was just for today, just as a test. I don't really like being on camera, so that's might not last. Okay, let's save this. It's not the right texture for here, but it's okay for the moment. Wait, did we have a window there? Yeah, it looks like we had a window here. So we need to fix that. Okay. Okay, but here we need to add the proper texture. Okay, yeah, because I'm only using the changing the material for the walls and haven't added the rest yet. Because for some reason I just did not use that. Okay, so for the window, let's see. Basically, need to do the same here. And at the moment we are only using one window because I haven't created the other ones yet. Let's see. Do we need here? Okay, this will be wall window mat. Farm wall window mat. Oh. Okay, let's use that. And we need the target here. Okay, now we have proper textures here. Even though these walls here are supposed to be stone, but I have created the right textures for those yet. So this 8. floor, but yeah, I need to add something to this. I'm not sure. Is it attachment? No, it's not an attachment. So this is not in yet. But I have trapdoors. This one has a floor. And we don't have any walls. I think I need to change something so that these pillars here are gone. The one in the middle. Okay, somewhere here I have staircase, but the problem is it's hidden. Because the whole inside is hidden. Ah, okay, so it's there, so we need to remove this floor piece here. So for element 10, we don't want a floor. Yeah. And then for element 15 here, we need to add the stairs. And then this is south again, and one wall, and a window. Hello. Yep, I added a face cam, even though I don't like being on camera, but I was doing a bit of a rant earlier, so kind of talked about what my future plans are, and it's kind of why I'm working on this and not doing any programming or behavior tree working, because I wanted to finish off the town, the visuals basically, and then fix all that. So let's see. Okay, it's 15 over here. And again, we don't need a floor for this because it would obscure this, but for this we need an attachment. This is the what is it, inside or outside? Okay, now it's inside, and it's right one, or is it? Nope. So this is in the wrong spot. But that's the wrong rotation, that's the thing, so we need to figure out the right rotation for that. If I go up here and remove those stairs. It's the procedural stairs we have in here. I mean, it could still work that way. And I kind of wanted the stairs to be here and then you go up this way, but yeah, let's change that in here. Let's change rotation. Them here. Okay, so we need the rotation here is wrong, so let's see. this is not right. So if we use the right stairs, then it should be east. So east would be south. South would be west, and west would be north. Okay, now we have the stairs in the right spot. Yeah, world building, kind of finishing off the village, because there were two kind of construction yards. The warehouse I had half turned over to the new system, and the mayor's house is kind of in a construction state for a long time, and I wanted to finish off those. And I also want to change these houses here. Ooh, thank you for the host. Wow. 63 viewers. Thank you. Another host. Thank you. 21 viewers. Hello, everyone. Thank you for the follow. Hello. And thank you for the rate, I think is the right word. I'm good. I just kind of started reworking one of these houses with procedural house system. Yeah, it's evening, morning, time zones. It's always different. No, not because of lights. Thank you for the follow. I switched because I have someone helping me out with characters. And another aspect was that I needed to invest too much into Unity asset store plugins to get the same thing done that I can do in Unreal for free. So that's one of the other reasons I switched. But it's mostly because I have someone helping me out with characters. Yes, I switched, yeah. And as a result, I'm about 2 months behind schedule. But that happens when you switch engines. I knew that when I was switching, and I made up some of it in time, but I also did a lot of stuff that I didn't need to do. For instance, create this procedural house system that I'm using at the moment. and then I completely removed it again. Hello, how are you? So, where was I? I was fitting those, that's working. Thank you for the follow. Yep. Thank you, thank you. If you have questions, just ask them. There are also a few commands you could use. They're below the stream. But most of it I can just answer. Maybe? I'm not sure. I can try. It's an exploration adventure game. In a hilarious kind of comedy fantasy world. Think of it like an old school adventure mixed in with 3D graphics, first person perspective, and open world exploration. I think that was a bit more than 3 sentences, but that's basically the end product, but it will be at some point, hopefully. But at the moment, it's a complete mess, but every work in progress is a complete mess. So, let me show you the world a bit. That's the whole map here. Most of these mountains are too high, so that you can't climb them, even though I think there are a few ways to get up here. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I need to change a lot of stuff in my about section, because there are a lot of old information, old screenshots and stuff like that, and yeah. The world is 4 kilometers by 4 kilometers, and yeah, let's just jump in and I can show you a bit of the gameplay. Yeah, I want to fill all this with content at some point. At the moment it's not filled yet. This is the spot where you start, basically. You fall from the sky and hit the ground. But I haven't added that sequence yet. Then that's the first NPC you encounter. The walls and the models in the background there, most of them I did myself. And the characters are Fuse, Mixamo or Adobe Fuse characters. They are placeholdered at the moment. Tasty Graph. It's I think it's more of an old school point and click adventure, and that's kind of the feeling I want to have in the world, um, but set into an open world. So I want to kind of smash those two genres together. And that's kind of the idea. So I have simple dialogue system. Sorry about the clock here. Um, Branching dialogue with a bit of different flavor to it. Yeah, kind of, but not that focused on puzzle, more focused on interaction with NPCs and um, exploration. You have quests, you have puzzles in it, but it's not like Myst where you're kind of stopped at a puzzle and then you need to solve that. Um, but it's not really point and click because you're not you're in first person, kind of first person or third person action camera. So it's not really point and click game. It's a bit hard to explain sometimes. Even though I'm not 100% sure how much I will go into puzzles and stuff like that. And now he walks back to his daily schedule. And you see that icon in the lower right corner. Thank you for the follow. And that's the kind of exploration open world aspect here. Where we have a journal where everything you find in the world is, you get some kind of note, or if you talk to people. For instance, here that's the first entry you get, and then we talk to this guy, and then we get this entry, and this is something we found in the world. And for every new area we explore or find in the world, we get a journal entry. Some areas I haven't written them yet, so the first thing is the town over here. If you get to the town, we get a journal entry, but there's no text yet. We get a date, but no text. Okay, thanks for stopping by. And thanks for the host and raid and all that. And the idea is that you can talk to every NPC in the world. Most of them don't have a dialogue yet, but I want to add at least a bit of dialogue to everyone so that you can learn a bit more about the world. And these villagers here have a schedule. The moment they're just running around. Going to the market, look at market stalls and walk away again. But at some point they will have a proper schedule, proper jobs and stuff like that. So it's kind of a village simulation that you can interact with. Yeah, they are clones. They are all dirty, dirty clones. Yay, it's raining outside. Awesome. No, it's the woman in the red dress. It's the even though this character here I created at some point, it's kind of a character based on a story I've written at some point. You can also pick up items. For instance, the sword here you can pick up. You can even equip it. Now we run around with the sword. Yeah, the animations are not final yet. I mean, we could talk to them, but like I said, they don't have any dialogue yet. And yes, I can switch between third and first person. For running around exploring, third person is a bit better, but in some cases, if you want to interact with people, first person is better. Yeah, that's right, yeah. And here we found an old mine entrance. Yeah, the NPCs are stupid at the moment. But the thing is, as far as I know, they use female walking animation. Yeah, but the walking animations are a bit. They are. It's all placeholder at the moment. Like I said. Birds. Okay. And here we are at the lake. And if we look into the journal, you can see why the lake is purple. Because it's not water anymore. No, there will be no fighting in the game. and the character doesn't have any stats and stuff like that, because it's, in that regard, it's more an old school adventure game than typical um, it's wine. The water was turned into, the lake was turned into wine. And if we jump in, then we also have this strange purple pinkish tint. I picked up the sword. I'm not wielding a sword from the start. But the idea is, if you talk to someone and have a sword equipped, the reaction will be different. Or there's a band of bandits outside here in the forest that will react differently if you're armed or not. Like the mask and oud. I don't know oud. I know that that block here is just a placeholder for statue, encounter, something that you might oh, Ocarina of Time, okay. This case it's an encounter on the road or a statue next to the road, and over here it's a placeholder for an encounter. Yep. And these houses here have are also placeholders at the moment, because they're really small and empty. But I had green boxes there before I set the houses, because those are farms. Or those are supposed to be farms. And we have a big moon here. Yeah, the I need to pick up something else so that I can equip that, so that we don't have the sword in hand anymore. There's a bug in the system, in the inventory system at the moment, so that I cannot unequip items, but since they don't have any real use yet, doesn't matter. And since it's night at the moment, they all returned to their homes and are not running around the market anymore. And the light turned on. something else. Yeah, I know it's a bit strange what I focus on, because I don't focus on anything. And that's also good point. The walking sounds in Unity drove me crazy, and I disabled those. Yep, have a good night. Sleep well. And now we don't have the sword equipped anymore, but the lockpicks. And only if we look down we see the lockpicks. But if we look down and run, we can look into the character's head, which is still a few. The 3D part is really good, and the lighting stuff and rendering engine is also really good. But they rely a bit too much on the asset store to add functionality to the engine that should be in the engine itself. Let's have a look at the main quest. Because the inn is out of beer, which is not good. And for some reason this is okay. I know how it works. It's just not in yet because it wasn't a priority. Oh, there are a few really nice games in made in Unity that are 3D games. Out of the top of my head, I don't know, but have a look at made with Unity. I think that's .com, which is gives you a link to games that are made with Unity. And there are a lot of games that are on Steam, and some of them are really good. Others are not so good, but that's kind of the nature of the beast. if you have an asset store and sell stuff that you can buy, and that lets you kind of publish that content. The thing is, for Unity, you need to program. You need to write your own scripts in JavaScript or C#. For Unreal, you can use... yeah, okay, that's the link. Thank you. You can use visual scripting, which is easier sometimes, but it kind of hides the fact that you still need to know what you're doing. Because in most cases, you really need to know what you're doing when you try to do visual scripting, because it's also just a programming language. You still need to know logic and all that stuff. Yeah, it all depends what kind of background you have and what you want to do. For visualization and showing of assets, Unreal is definitely better, because it has a lot of tools that artists can use without doing any programming at all. And if they need some kind of programming, they can use blueprints. To get started with programming and programming games, I think Unity is a bit better. Yeah, okay. Most of them are stylized because they started out as Unity is more focused on multi-platform and having your game on mobile devices and on PC or Mac. So you see more games aimed for that art style or those platforms. Yeah, Source is a bit outdated by now. Um, and the tools are not that good, to be honest. I try to make stuff with Source Engine, but it's way easier to work in Unity or Unreal. I mean, the thing is, I created a dialogue editor in Unity for Unity. Let's see. here somewhere. No, it's not. So it's the C sharp. Yeah, here. I created this dialogue editor in Unity for some of my projects. Yes, I have a few tabs open, yes. And it's kind of based on this that I kind of started using the same dialogue editor for this game. So I was using Unity to start with, and then ported the stuff over into just a spreadsheet, and then used it that way. But I kind of want to create similar thing in Unreal, because I like the ease of creating dialogues with notes and stuff like that. But I think it's a bit more complicated in Unreal to create that. I mean, I started out in Unity, and the only problem with Unity I had was that I kind of ran out of money for assets to buy, and that helped me in kind of finishing the game. But apart from that, I would have stayed with Unity. I'm not sure if I have it here somewhere, but I can show you the prototype. This one here. And that's the Unity version, the latest I had at that time. You can create your character, human or elf, male, female. All this stuff I haven't in here yet. In the Unreal version. And here we have the same dialogue as the other version. Yeah, that was a bug. Didn't recognize the proper triggers and all that. But here we have the kind of older version of the temple. And I'm using similar assets. But it's basically the same. It even has a bit more content than the other version. No, the characters look a bit strange sometimes. Here had a different town layout, and town was a bit more flat and looked a bit different as a result. And I have kind of randomized characters here, which in some cases don't look that good. But we also have the journal here with the same entries. We have patrolling guards. Some of the behavior is similar. But to get this kind of look and that it runs this smooth, I needed to invest a bit too much. And then I noticed, okay, I have this done, but I still need a lot more. And in some areas the ground textures look horrible here, but the shader I was using was a bit hard to control, basically. And here we have a different text telling something about the lake. One thing that is in here is fish in the water, but for some reason they sometimes leave the water. Not sure if they're in this version. Oh yeah, here we go. Fish on the land. These small green fish try to eat plants, and the bigger purple fish try to eat the green fish. And for some reason they leave the land and leave the water and walk over land. I'm not sure if I will put the fish into the Unreal version. Yeah, and here they found a food source. There's no mesh for it yet, but now they're eating that. And then they try to find another food source. While being chased by the bat. Purple fish. Here we have the troll god. Yeah, the thing is you can create with almost every engine games that look really good. I mean, some you can at the same time you can also create really horrible looking games in engines that are known for awesome graphics. For instance, if you don't have the skill to create textures and assets that look realistic, you cannot create realistically looking games in CryEngine, for instance. It all depends on your skill or what kind of assets you buy. And the other thing is, for CryEngine, you need to think what you can do with that engine and what kind of access you have and what kind of access you need to the source code and stuff like that. And the thing is that Unreal Engine gives you complete code access. You can change engine features if you want to. and but in most cases you don't need to do that. You just need to add your scripts on top of the engine and then work with that. For instance, you can create a complete game just with blueprints without touching a line of C++ code. Okay, now we got a quest from a troll. Let's see if that chest is there, or if he just wanted to get rid of us. Let's see. Oh, and by the way, this is the statue that has the placeholder box in the other build, the other version. It's kind of what that box is for. But I haven't added that in because I'm not sure if I want to add the statue or the real knight in here. I think adding the knight is it's a bit more funny and shows a bit more about the world. Which means I need to write a bit of dialogue. But let's see if we can get to the chest the troll mentioned. Okay, thanks for stopping by. And I think after I get to the chest, I might stop as well because I do have to do a bit of stuff in the afternoon. And it was a bit shorter stream today. But I just wanted to kind of state my intent for the future and do a bit of work on the houses. And since there are a lot of people here, I wanted to show off the old prototype. that's kind of the point of the chest. And if we look in our journal, yeah, found an empty chest, nothing magic about it. That's the point. It's a troll. What did you expect? The trolls in this world are kind of inspired by internet trolls and um, the trolls in this world are the technologically most advanced race, and as a result, they have too much time on their hand. So they like to argue about almost everything, and they like to trick other races, other people, um, into stupid things like this quest here. He just wanted to get rid of you. No, it's not. It's not an RPG. It's an exploration adventure game. Think of old school point and click adventure games without the point and click movement, but first person or third person movement, and but the dialogues and item pickup of old adventure games, and puzzles that are combining items or getting the right item for getting the right key for the right door and stuff like that. There are no stats, there's no combat. Yeah. You have an inventory. In this case, it's kind of slot-based inventory. In the other version that I'm working on in Unreal, it's just a list of items and 3D model of the item you're carrying around. And then there's a branching dialogue system. I'm not sure, maybe I will have a look at some kind of Monkey Island inspired fighting system, but I'm not sure if that's in the scope of the project. Thank you for the follow. To find the road again. Is it here somewhere? No. So we need to go this way. I'm looking for the brewery, which is kind of the main building quest-wise you need to get to. Oh yeah, it's over here. That's the old build for the brewery. Kind of completely changed the layout of it and the look. For instance, here we have locked doors, can't get in there, but we have this guy standing around here, and if we are on the quest to get the keg of beer for the inn, then he will give us the key. now we have the key. We can equip it and open the door, even though the door is bugged in this version, doesn't open, but we can get in here and then open that door. And then down here we can pick up a barrel of beer so that the inn has beer again. It's single player. Single player only. And now we are back in town because we can teleport or fast travel between those road signs. And in here we can talk to the innkeeper again. And give him the barrel. And there's a bug that the barrel is still here, but he gave us 150 copper coins for it. But this here is the old Unity build, and at the moment I'm working on build in Unreal. For instance, the inventory looks a bit different here. Kind of inspired by Skyrim or the collectible system from Tomb Raider, where you can look at the stuff from all different angles and find new stuff on it, something like that. And you can also equip stuff. So more tools, less money to get the same features, basically. And also that I have someone working on a character system for character creation with the animation tools and stuff like that for Unreal, and he tried to work in Unity, but it didn't really work for him. He couldn't work with that system, and that's why I switched. Speed running this game, yeah, maybe, yeah, but at the moment the speed run I did was about 5 minutes or so for the quest, basically, because there's only 1 or 2 quests in here. I haven't added the troll yet, and the troll quest, It's not in here yet. I mean, we have the troll in here, but he doesn't have any dialogue yet. And he's also a bit squashed because he's supposed to be bigger, but that's his real height, his real look. But if I switch to the other animation blueprint, he's pushed down here because yes, he's blue. He's blue and has purple hair. And he has a really stupid grin. That's the troll. But he doesn't have his dialogue yet, so he can't send us on his quest yet. Okay. Oh yeah, voice acting is something not from the start. I will put it up in early access, and if I get enough money for it, basically to being able to afford voice acting, then I will add it. Otherwise, it will be just text based. I mean, the thing is, I was looking for kind of the Nordic trolls. If I go to Pinterest here, trolls. With big noses and stuff like that, so kind of this troll look. Yeah, maybe. And his grin is kind of inspired by the troll face, the internet meme troll face. Okay, so, but like I said, I need to do a bit of stuff in the afternoon, so I will stop here and I will continue working on the houses in town this evening. So that I can kind of give them all a similar look asset wise, and not mix and match as I'm doing here. It's kind of the focus of this week, in contrast to my normal chaos and just seeing what could I do today. Let's do that. But like I said, I need to change that and focus a bit more. Yeah, again, that's the one I mean. That's the one I mean. Okay, so see you guys later. Bye bye. And let's see if we can find um, some stream too. Some stream here. Let's see who's online. Okay, Weez is online, but let's see. Someone doing level design, Unreal. Yeah, let's host Weez. Okay, let's go to Weez's channel.